What's up, fam? How's it going? I just want to go over the things I am proud of myself for in 2019 and in the last decade, and the ways that I intend to grow forward in this upcoming decade and in 2020 and beyond. First, I should say, talking about being proud of myself is so hard. Having recognition for myself is so hard, as I tend to beat myself up and have this never good enough mentality, and this is something that I intend to work on moving forward into the next decade, starting now. So I have a little list here, a little cheat sheet, just because I tend to overcomplicate things a little bit, and I just wanted to make it simple. So if I look down, that's why. So starting out in the last decade, wow, lots of time, lots of specific experiences. I mean, 10 years ago, if I had just graduated high school and or I was about to graduate high school and move on into college, and there's so many amazing things I learned through those processes, but I have to keep it kind of broad to keep this short. So in the last decade, took major leaps of faith. I studied abroad in Ireland, which was extremely scary, consequently ending a 3-year high school relationship that I thought was going to be my forever, as we do when we're that age. And another huge leap of faith was moving out to California from Michigan, and that was probably the scariest thing I had done at that point. And that step, that leap of faith, really catapulted me into this journey of self-progression and growth that I'm so grateful for. I wish there was more impactful words than that to use, but I can't express how grateful I am for just stepping outside of what was comfortable to me at the time. I set out to discover my most authentic self, so that's along the same lines, and I think the last one I put here is dedicated myself to growth and progression. All in all, the last decade was just taking little steps and some really big steps to get me to a place where I could really figure out who I was. When I moved here to California 3.5 years ago, I had a notebook, and I was really down and depressed and just kind of, I didn't have any friends. I just moved here other than the ones that I lived with, and I went through about 3 months without a job, and I was just thinking, did I just make the hugest mistake of my life? I don't know anyone, I have no idea what I want, and I can't get a job. And in that time, I sat down and I just had a notebook, and I wrote down everything that I wanted in my life and just kind of dedicated a part of the notebook to figuring that thing out. So one of them was fitness. I just wrote down and researched everything about body types and fitness styles and ways of eating, and just really trying to mold and figure out what was best for me. And that journal is probably the single best thing I did for myself in terms of personal progression, as it kind of gave me a map and a guideline to actionable steps that I could take into my life and put into practice. And honestly, it was the earliest phase of manifestation. I didn't even know that that's what I was doing. I wrote down areas of partnership, like I said, fitness and health, all things personal progression, hobbies, financial breakdowns, trying to figure out how to get my finances in order. And while all these things are not perfect at this point, I've absolutely progressed exponentially in every single area that I've written down. And it's so amazing to look back and see, wow, she has come so far. I'm so blessed. So that's what I have to say about the last decade. I'm so proud, and I love 10-year ago me so much. I think she was so hungry to change and to learn and to grow, and because she decided to step out of her comfort zone and do that, I am in a place of immense gratitude and just incredible progression from that point. In 2019 specifically, I wrote things down a lot more. On the topic of manifestation, I just kind of, whether you believe in manifestation or not, writing things down solidifies those things in your life and your mind. It gives you a tangible goal to look to and to create your plans around. So writing things down is something that I'm really proud that I have adapted, whether that be a journaling practice in the morning and just getting out all of my anxieties, all of my everything stuck in my head, to that journal I was just telling you about, to planning my life out. I mean, there's different levels of writing things down and different things you can do that can fit into your life, but these are just the things that worked for me. I prioritize myself more by shifting in and out of situations based on how they made me feel. This is huge. Like, more specifically, I quit a very toxic job this year that I had been in for about 3 years. It was a part of my identity. Just a field in general that I was in for a while, the service industry, that no longer served me. And so that environment as a whole was very toxic, and I think as an empath was negatively affecting me in a serious way. And so to take the leap and jump off of that cliff and not know where that was going to lead me was so powerful. It was terrifying at the time, but I deep down knew that I would be okay and I would thrive. And I'm deep in the thick of that right now, but it is beautiful and magical, and I've been able to focus on myself more now in a positive light than I have ever dreamed of doing, and that is such a blessing. I also went fully plant-based in 2019. I'll eat fish now and then. I'm not super strict on myself, but just having plants be the primary source of fuel and nutrition, and having a whole plant-based diet is magical, and just being comfortable in the kitchen with fresh food is just a dream come true. So I'm so happy and so blessed that I have the resources to do that, and that I had the willpower to just try it out for a month and have that month turn into, okay, this is quickly a way that I want to live my life. I suggest that you try just a month, even if it's plants first, making the first thing you eat a plant, or the first part of your meal that you take a bite of is at least a plant. You know, that anything helps. Any little conscious effort will definitely change the way you feel. I also moved into a more affordable apartment this year. My boyfriend and I manifested an apartment that cost half the rent that we were paying before, and we are in the heart of the city, so we can walk, ride bikes. That's primarily how we get around. I don't drive my car very much, once a week at the most, and that has been such an incredible blessing. I'm sorry for the lighting changes. I've got a crazy background going on. But yeah, that has been an incredible blessing for us to explore the city, to meet new people, to be more comfortable in our environment, and just enjoy learning what city life is really like, because I don't think this is going to be a forever thing, but it is really cool to experience the different ways that people make their lives and build their lives. So the last thing I have on here is I prioritize solitude and silence. This kind of sounds a little dark, but it's just really understanding that prior to this year, I really just surrounded myself with distraction and people and things and podcasts and YouTube and everything that would constantly just take over my brain. I would constantly be delegated by others because of it. And I think this was a way that I distracted myself for a long time and put myself on the back burner, really just ignoring what I wanted and who I wanted to be, and kind of just like going with the flow of what everybody else wanted, because honestly, it was a lot easier to do that than to actually look deep down into myself and start dealing with my shit and really growing in an exponential way. So that's a way that 2019, it was a dark year for me a lot of times, but that's because it was a deep, deep year of growth and of learning myself. And I think there's power in that, and there's beauty in that. It's okay. It doesn't always have to be a really happy and amazing experience. As long as you're growing and evolving, it's a necessary experience. And I'm so grateful for that. I will always be grateful for that. Even if in the moment I can't find that gratitude, from afar and retrospectively, I couldn't be prouder of myself. Moving forward into 2020. What a voice. Okay. So I'm just going to read through my 2020 intentions, and then at the end of it, if there's something I need to highlight, I will. So here we go. I intend to create an expansive YouTube channel that serves to share my journey of self-progression with the world, intentionally inspiring others to change their own lives for the better. This is something that I have intended to do since July. It is January. That's a long time ago. And I've told a lot of people my intentions with it. I've had ideas flowing through me. I've written things down. I've recorded videos. I've acquired all the equipment. I haven't started. in terms of just editing one of the videos and putting it out there. And I think this is something that I have just a deep embedded fear in just fully and authentically being me to the world. I think for all of us, it's so intimidating to, quote, reinvent ourselves. I know that primarily the people that are going to be watching this content or this video or my YouTube channel to begin with are people that I went to high school with or grew up with in some way or another, met somewhere along the lines, and this version of myself only exists right now, like in the last year, at the most the last 3 years, and I don't know how many people from just my history of living truly understand who I am at this point. That's something that's really hard for me, and I only ever intend to show up fully and authentically as myself on social media, but I have had a really hard time figuring out how to do that and not be influenced by what other people are doing. And so starting this YouTube channel is going to be a really good way for me to grow into that and learn what that means for me and how to fully step into my authentic embodied self on a global scale, like to everyone else, not just around the people that see me on a daily basis, which is mostly my cat and my boyfriend. So I think it's time for me to share. I know it is time for me to share my gifts with the world on a larger scale. And so I think YouTube is a really good way to do that, to, quote, reinvent myself to the people that already know me, just kind of showing them who I have evolved to be at this point, and hopefully influencing others to authentically step into their own and maybe learn from my journey and my growth and the ways that I continue to transition and learn in life. That was a long one. That was the first one. See, here I go. Ramble City over here. All right. I'm going to stick to my word now. I intend to slow down, to prioritize divine silence, giving me a greater ability to grow as a more patient, compassionate, and loving human. I intend to release judgment, to release ego, and to instead align with grace and love. I intend to speak more intentionally, to think about my intentions before speaking thoughts, less reaction. I intend to find consistency in sharing value on social media. I intend to step into my role as a coach without fear. I intend to grow a beautiful relationship with money. I intend to grow a magnetic relationship with my body. I intend to grow and scale Eco Kitchen Provisions. That's my online store. I intend to continue aligning with my highest self. I intend to set and enforce loving boundaries. I trust that I have everything I need. I trust that what is what should be. Wow, there's a couple things I think in there that I need to clarify. One of them is Eco Kitchen Provisions. I have been working on an e-commerce store for, I think my tagline is going to be some kind of play off of where efficiency meets sustainability. So the products of my store seek to make your home a more sustainable environment that can also serve to assist you in day-to-day life, to make things a lot easier for you and simplify things for you. I think this world kind of overcomplicates our lives, and I seek to provide my customers with products that not only positively impact the environment but also positively impact them and their lives. And so that should be, I'm so close to finally releasing my store. I will announce that when it comes to be, but it is it's in the very near future. The other thing that I need to address is coaching. I am entering a life coaching program that begins this month, and I'm going to explore the world of coaching others to be their highest, most authentic selves. I know that I'm meant to create community and impact others to be able to do the things that I'm so proud that I've been able to do, and the things I will continue to grow and do over time. I think those are the only things I need to clarify. If there's anything else that I listed off here that sounded out of your realm of understanding, or a little woo-woo, or just doesn't make sense to you, I encourage you to please reach out to me, and I will be more than happy to clarify. I think just sharing this vulnerable information with you about myself, and not only how I'm proud of myself but my intentions moving forward, it's my way of reaffirming to myself that I'm worthy of being proud of, and I am worthy of setting goals and intentions to go get the things that are of my highest worth. And I also hope that my journey and my story inspires you, and wherever the hell you may be in your journey or your path, wherever your life has led you to this point, I hope that you can see the ways that you have grown, and I hope that you can recognize in yourself things that you are proud of yourself for. Everybody has a path, everybody has a journey, everyone has, forks in the road and choices to make, and I think the more that we can own those things, and the more that we can breathe positivity into our own lives by being proud of the progression we've made, I think the better off we will all be. And so I seek to empower you, to inspire you. This lighting has changed about 1,000 motherfucking times, but I'm an amateur, what can I say? I love you all. I'm sending you love in 2020, and yeah, I wish nothing but the best for you. Please, please, please reach out if you feel compelled in any way, and I will see you all soon.